Well, first of all, I want to thank all the members of the committee for holding this hearing, specifically Chairman Scott, Chairman of the full committee, Chairman Conyers, and the ranking member Gohmert. A number of you have all touched on different aspects of what I was going to say, to the point, starting off with the very fact that this is the first hearing by any House committee on elder abuse in 17 years. The Senate's had a series of hearings, but no House committee has ever held a hearing in 17 years of elder abuse. And it touches on the fact that as we're about to have, 77 million Americans, baby boomers, set to retire. It's only fitting that this hearing begin now, as we always talk about Social Security or Medicare, that this is an issue that touches a growing population, piece of the overall population, and a community that has particular interest. I do want to add just a couple points to to things that each of you have brought up. This issue came to mind as I do my office hours at grocery stores, just meeting constituents. And in about 2003, a woman met me at the grocery store, just happened to be shopping, Rosemary, I'm going to mispronounce it, Pulici, who talked about her father, who has Alzheimer's, World War II veteran, who was in a nursing home, who, as she started to notice, was having scars and black and blue marks, etc. And as she tried to deal with the nursing home, they all said, it's just little things he's bumping into, etc., and they pushed her off. And then she went to the law enforcement community. And the law enforcement community said this is a family matter, which I note to you was prior to the federal government being involved in domestic abuse, was exactly how they refer to domestic abuse, either for children or for a partner. And so the same response that still exists today for elderly was the response until we dealt on a federal level with either child abuse or domestic violence. This was a family issue, not really one for the law enforcement community. And so it's fitting that we deal with this at this time and deal with it from a federal level. Second, has been noted, there's $8 billion on the federal level spent on abuse, be that child or domestic. Of that, less than 2% goes to elderly. $8 billion, but less than 2% goes towards elderly. We noted that 77 million Americans are baby boomers about to retire. Third statistic. This was a recent report the other day in the Chicago Tribune because of Illinois' own laws, and Chairman Scott noted that his own days in the state legislature, that different laws, different regs, different reporting requirements. Between 1997 and 2005, the increase in violence among elders had increased by 48% in the state of Illinois. Now, part of that is because the population is getting bigger. Part of that is because we put in place a series of laws for better reporting by our Attorney General. We happen to have good laws in Illinois and good enforcement. What is missing in all this effort is national standards, national helping on enforcement, and national resources. You can see clearly by what happened both with domestic violence, when the federal government set some standards and resources were put there, and child abuse and those type of crimes, that what happened there had a clear impact and a positive impact in the sense of reducing that violence, and also bringing it from the sideline to the center, so you can't dismiss those crimes as merely a family issue. Lastly, 2 points I'd like to close because I want to make sure all my colleagues have appropriate time, is bring up what Congresswoman Baldwin mentioned. And that is that when it comes to fraud, abuse, be that telephone solicitation, mail, other types of victims of crimes, as a population center, seniors are I don't want to state a statistic because I may be wrong, but the most amount of crimes committed against any population sector for fraud vis-a-vis phone or mail is among seniors. And so that has to be a part of anything we do. Besides the physical piece, abuse at nursing homes, etc., that seniors are the single greatest population segment for being the victims of fraud, be it bank, electronic, telephone, etc., and that has to be a part of this. I am submitting, as all you mentioned, that you're submitting testimony. Besides my full testimony, my partner in this and working on this is Congressman Peter King. And I'm submitting, for the record, his testimony here. He asked me to do that. I would. This is my first legislation I introduced when I first got to Congress. Since that time, Senator Hatch, Senator Breaux, Senator Lincoln, Blanche Lincoln, Peter King, and I have worked on this. I cannot thank each and every one of you enough that after 17 years of not having literally a time, this issue having any daylight, that your committee has decided to have a hearing on this legislation and even on this subject. And I hope it bodes well for our ability to bring this legislation or some aspects of this finally to the floor for a full vote.